Well, this is nice. You can actually see me for once and I don't need my lamp. This is another episode of PJMB TV starring PJ. Um, so we're going to go over Saturday night. So we'll start with the Sabres, go to the Oilers, and we'll see what magic we can make. Well, basically, yay! Both teams won for once. Hooray! Sabres and Oilers both ended off with some points last night, which is what, we always like to see. Sabres played the Predators last night in Nashville. I had a friend at the game. Hi, Kay. We saw you on TV because they were sitting in the all-you-can-eat section, and RJ loved that section. He was just always talking about it. Yeah, you can eat all you want. It doesn't cost anything, just the cost of a ticket. Oh, they're hoping the game goes into overtime. He was just talking it up. I think he thought the idea was really funny. That would probably never happen in HSBC. Just my guess. I mean, granted, food is expensive here, but we don't need specialized seating to constrict or make prices of tickets any higher. I mean, Nashville has very, very cheap tickets, as I know. Apparently 300 level goes for 15, which is what Boston used to have. I look really, really blanked out. Anyway, so Sabres and Predators ended with a shutout from Ryan Miller. How awesome! What the fuck am I doing? How awesome does that sound? That sounds like a pretty sweet deal. I am always There we go. I'm always happy to see Ryan Miller end with a shutout. I'm a chick who roots for the goalies most of the time, except for the Oilers situation right now. We'll talk about that later. But I always root for the goalies because they're in the back, and you don't really see a lot of them. I mean, they're always got the most pressure on them because they're the last line of defense. But like I said, you can't really. It's always the forwards. Yeah, they scored a goal, but really it's nothing to do with the forwards at all. If you don't have a decent goaltender, your entire game falls. So, who scored the last goal? It was Greer. In the last 3 minutes of the game, it was a beautiful backhand in traffic. I don't know how he did it. That goaltender was huge. Pecorine, he was massive and he was absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, not to disregard our Millsy or anything. He did great shutting out 25 goals. But it was Pecorine who actually shut out 54. Or I think it was 53. We shot 54. We got one in. Our offense, oh my god, it was insane. Every time we were in their zone, I thought we were on a power play. I actually had to keep checking the bar on top of MSG.com, or not .com, but the TV station, just to make sure we weren't on the power play. Because it was just, we were killing them. Their defense had nothing on us. It was very, very shocking to me. I've never seen our offense that fast, that in control. And I think we have to, right now, mention Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy was an animal last night. He's fighting for his place. He's making sure that Lindy Ruff and the management know that they made a good decision by keeping him down here. So, watching him, he got into a fight. He actually got a penalty. Now, it's not good to ever get a penalty, granted, but I mean, when you're keeping your position like that, I know he doesn't have the control that Patrick Kaleta has. When Kaleta can, sorry, I'm having problems with his name. Everyone tells me. When he can draw 5 and not get any. I don't know how that happens. Kaleta, if you can give me your hints, they could come in handy when I play. Our defense is definitely improving. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes. Defense is definitely improving. I'm actually very happy with how we kept things out of the zone. When they were in the zone, things got a little hairy, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I think, again, with defense, like we did with Tim Kennedy, we got to mention Tyler Myers. Tyler is doing phenomenally. He's being an active player. When he got in the Phoenix game, when he got the assist on the MacArthur goal, it was absolutely. I don't think anyone cared about the MacArthur goal. Everyone was just wondering, why is Tyler on the ice? Why is he not up? So he's playing the bodies, which is what we need, and he's definitely not only being a physical play, but actually using his hands and getting the pucks to our men, which is what we need. We need someone who can play the body and the puck, which usually you have one or the other, especially in the case of someone like Andrew Peters or in the Oilers, Zach Sortini. You have a lot of people who can play the body but not the puck. The Sabres being such an offense-forward team, such a fast team, you need both, because if you're playing the body, you'll get stuck in the back, which is you're not going to be nearly as successful, and you'll eventually get traded. Moving to the Oilers side, I'm going to have to... once I get the radio show, if I get the radio show, Oilers is not going to be on the radio show because no one cares in the city. So we're probably going to focus a little bit more on Oilers on this TV show, and I'll give you guys a podcast. Just a hint there. I've been thinking about it. Anyway, the Oilers, finally, it seems like it's been a long time since we've had a win. We've only had 4 games, and 2 of them have been wins. I don't know why I seem to think that we never win, but whatever. Finally, a win. The game was 3-2 against the Canadiens. Now, I root for 2 teams, Sabres and anyone who beats the Canadiens. Sorry, it's an old Boston thing. No, you guys know who I root for. Goal scorers are Comrie, JFJ, again, I'm not trying to say his name, and Patrick O'Sullivan. What a beautiful goal. They all had wonderful participating goals. And if I could talk about every one of them in the greatness that I can talk about Mike Greer's goal, yeah, except they all kind of smushed into one. When I see, if I watch highlights, I could talk about it, but I'm not. Anyway, sorry, rambling. Basically, we outplayed the Canadiens. We've been outplaying a lot of our teams. Outplaying the Canadiens the entire time except for the last period. The last period, unfortunately, we dropped the ball. Or should I say Happy Bulin dropped the ball. You guys can really tell that I'm not liking him. He's got to work a lot harder to actually get my interest. Especially in the last minutes of the game, he loses his finesse, and really I just get angry. I mean, we had a situation similar to the Calgary situation where in the last 13 seconds it was a free-for-all in the Oilers' end, and Happy was just messy. I mean, I guess we can also blame some of this on the defense, since you guys know I do like goaltenders and I don't like putting all the weight on them. But I would rather be able to have the same feeling I have when I watch Ryan Miller and know that Ryan Miller can work under that pressure and make every single save he has to make. But I don't trust Happy yet, and when I see him not standing in goalie position, when I see him fumbling around, yes, he's old, and I have to understand that he only has this X amount of ability, but yank him out and put JDD in. Do something to make me feel secure that in those final seconds when our defense crunches, I don't know why that's happening. Pat Quinn, do something. Someone can handle it, because Cabby has proven that a few times that he can't. And I think on that same vein, we've got to fix our defense. In our own zone, it seems like maybe we're just being outplayed in the final minutes. I'm not sure what's going on. Are we getting tired? We just get messy, and I don't like it. And I think I'm overanalyzing this a little bit. So, with 1 minute left, let's do our Super Round of the NHL. There were 13 games last night. So, New Jersey versus Florida ended in a 3-2 victory to New Jersey. New York Islanders versus Boston ended with a 4-3 victory in Boston. Pittsburgh versus Toronto. Pittsburgh won 5-2. Atlanta versus Ottawa. Atlanta lost to Ottawa's 4 goals to their 2. Washington versus Detroit ended in a 3-2 victory on Detroit. Anaheim versus Philadelphia ended in a 3-2 victory in overtime with Anaheim. Coming on top, Carolina versus Tampa Bay, with Tampa Bay on top 5-2. Los Angeles versus St. Louis. The Kings lost over the Blues, 2-1. Colorado versus Chicago, 4-3 Chicago victory. Columbus versus Phoenix. Columbus 1-2-0. And Minnesota versus San Jose. San Jose on top by 2. That's all for today. This has been a really messy Sunday night recap from your favorite juice box. PJ. See you all next time.